Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video, I'm going to show you what to look for when you're trying to buy a used car so you don't get ripped off. If you watch some of my videos, Steve and I fix a lot of stuff. We've been working together for over 30 years. I've bought a lot of used cars. In fact, I hardly buy anything new because I don't like to take the hit once I drive it off the lot. So therefore, usually I'll find cars that are around 5 years old, in and around that age, and that's when you typically get the best deal. So when you're looking for a used car, you're going to want to ask yourself a few different questions. Is it something that you're just picking up for an economy car like this? Because I picked this one up just to save fuel because I drive the Expedition every day. So this isn't something I'm looking to have long term. But if it's a car that you're going to have long term, you know, you might want to look for something different. I'll show you, I'll explain that to you in a minute. So where I'm going with this is I'm going to use this as an example. I picked up this 2010 Hyundai, and I wanted to find a car that was good on gas, which this is. It gets 37 miles highway, 28 city. My Expedition gets 13 miles a gallon. It was killing me right now. So I'm using this to go back and forth to work. So that said, I wasn't picky about paint. So the guys threw a bumper cover on this thing, and it has some paint runs in it. Terrible. I wish my dad still had the auto body shop, but he doesn't. He's 80 years old. So if you're looking for a car just to commute in, you can kind of overlook some things. I wasn't looking for something that was perfect. You know, the fender doesn't match the bumper. It's two different, shades of white, and it has some dings in it, which don't bother me. There's one down there, and the bumper cover in the back is split a little bit, like right there. And but overall, the car was really clean. Right here, the headlights are a little cloudy. You can clean them up a little bit to replace these headlights. These headlights are about $125 a piece. Okay, so if you want to pick up a car that it's gonna be your main source of transportation, and you're probably going to want to care about the paint. Look at the paint on the car, make sure there's no rust on it and stuff like that, because paint jobs can cost you a lot of money. Like I said, I wasn't really being particular about the paint on this car. It's just a beater car right now for me. Okay, so now I'll dive in. Things to look for when you arrive at the guy's house or the car lot or whatever it is you're going to look at a used car for, and things that might cost you money, or things not really to be that worried about. Right off the bat, we did overall condition of the paint. The paint on this car, it's not that bad. It's all right. It's not rotted. So what you want to do is look at the overall car when you arrive at wherever it is you're going. Open the doors. Look at the door jambs, and make sure that they're fairly clean. Like, this car is pretty clean. There's no rot or rust poking through anywhere. Look at the bottom of the door jambs right here. This car is really clean down here. There's no rust or anything on the bottom of the doors. Kind of check everything out. Get on your back too. Look at the pinch welds under here. Make sure there's no rotted panels or the rocker arms. These are toast on my Expedition, so make sure that the rocker arms don't look like that. That's bad. I've actually got to fix these. So go around to the other side of the car and do the same thing. Open the door, check out the door jambs, look underneath, check out the condition of the bottom of the doors. These are good. Check out your pinch welds. That looks great under there. Look at the overall condition of the interior. I actually cleaned this up a little bit, and the seats were a little bit dirty, but they weren't too bad. I got to hit them one more time with the shampoo. And, if there's a little bit of dirt on them, don't worry about it too much, because you can get like a rug shampoo. And if you want to do it on the cheap, if you have a shop vac, you can kind of hit it with the sponge a little bit, shop vac it out. That's not a big deal. But these seats aren't torn, so I had that going for me. They're good in the front. Look at the sides. Look at the stitches. The driver's seat's good, pretty good too. The only spot that has a spot on it is right here, but that's no big deal. Look at the back seat. The back seat was good to go too. There were no rips in the back seat. And check the headliner, make sure the headliner isn't sagging. This one did have some dirt in it, and I had cleaned it up, and looks pretty good. So try to find the car with like under 140 grand on it. You start to get up and over that, and then it might not be worth your while, depending on how much they want for the vehicle. Okay, then go around the back of the car, pop the trunk. This one happens to be a hatch. Look at the underside of the hatch to see if it's bubbling, if there's any rust or rot under there. This one's really, really clean. It kind of tells me the way the interior is, the way that the door jambs are. It kind of tells me in a roundabout way this car is probably taken care of. Check out the carpet in the back. This looks halfway decent. There's still a little dirt in here I got to vacuum out, but that's no big deal. Nothing's ripped in it, and everything looks pretty good. Once you have checked out all of that stuff, get on your side, look under the car, check out the exhaust real quick. So here's the muffler in the back of my car. It isn't too bad. Yeah, there's a little bit of rust on it, but that's nothing. That's nothing to really be worried about. And I check down the pipe, make sure that the pipe's in good shape. There's a new flex pipe in this one. Let me get a better shot of that. You check out the pipe all the way up to the converter. It looks like someone may have put a new converter in this one, some new hardware right there. But the pipe's in good shape, so you're good with that. Check out your floorboards and make sure, you know, there's no rotted floorboards or anything like that. These are in good shape. Okay, so you're at the point now where the rest of the car checks out pretty good. Everything looks pretty good there. Nothing's really jumping out yet. Pop the hood, dive into the motor. So what you're gonna look for are leaks. Like, is there anything leaking from the radiator hoses? Do a once over, see if the fluids are topped off. You know, if the power steering's full, the reservoir is full for like the engine coolant and stuff like that. You know, if it's low or something like that, it might be an indication that there could be a leak somewhere. It could be in the water pump or it could be in the radiator. Check out the radiator of the vehicle. Make sure that it doesn't look wet around the bottom, or there's nothing obviously leaking out of it. And the front, here's the exhaust manifold in the front. See if you can see any visible cracks. You know, it'll be loud if there is when you start it up. It'll be pretty noticeable. Check your radiator hoses. If you can, check the battery date on the battery. There'll be a date on the battery. See how old that is. If it's 4 years old or older, I'd replace it. Then on this car right here, there's a little bit of a leak on the valve cover, and Steve and I have swapped that on and fixed it at some point, but it's not leaking really bad. All in all, this car is pretty clean in the motor area. Nothing really jumped out at me that was leaking fluids or anything like that. This car happens to be a standard. If it's an automatic, get on your back underneath and look for anything that might be leaking around. Where the transmission mates up to the engine block for like an oil leak or a transmission leak or something like that. If it's an automatic, look for a transmission pan leak under the car. I bought this car. It's a 2010 Kia. It has 137,000 miles on it, and I paid $2,400 for it. I made out pretty good with it. It's a pretty clean car. I just bought it a couple weeks ago, so at the time of the video, I've only owned it for about 2 or 3 weeks. And test drive the vehicle. Tell the person you want to take the car for a test drive. Check out the brakes. Make sure the brakes work good and they're not squeaking or anything like that. And the car doesn't have any weird vibrations in it. If the car's started up, take a walk outside. Make sure it's not blowing any smoke out of the tailpipe, and no smoke is coming out from the engine bay. But in a nutshell, this is everything to kind of look for. These are all the major I gotchas. You know, if nothing's really leaking under the motor like this car, and it's pretty clean, and you walk around the thing and the car's in halfway decent shape, you know, you test drive and the brakes feel pretty good, and the price is right. Like this one was, I picked this up at a pretty good deal. Most of these cars are like around $4 grand, $3,500 in and around there. I kind of stole this one. This one was a really good deal. And if you guys have any questions at all, leave a comment. I've been buying cars for a long time. I've hardly had any new cars. I've only owned 2 new cars my whole life, and my wife drives them. But these are the things that I look for when I arrive at somebody's house or a car lot right off the bat. Paint can cost you a lot of money, so if the paint's all goofed up, you can get into thousands of dollars fixing paint. I didn't care about that with this car. It's just my day-to-day commuter. So I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.